Hello everyone, and welcome to my Royal Family official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Meghan and husband Prince Harry are like salt and pepper. We always move together, she stated last year when promoting her Archetypes podcast. And yet, as their media empire implodes, with their Spotify deal cancelled, it appears that these condiments have ended up on completely opposite shelves in the cupboard. Meghan, who recently signed a management contract with the ultimate Hollywood agent, Ari Emanuel at WME, is still looking for creative and commercial opportunities. It was a one-woman show, not her and Harry, and it was a huge success. Meanwhile, Harry is reported to be returning to charity and campaigning work, with plans to return to Africa to produce a documentary in the footsteps of his mother, an endeavor that will see him travel to the continent alone. Their dream to become a global humanitarian power couple appears to be on hold for the time being. Meghan is likely to follow up with a slew of commercial endorsements in industries close to her heart, such as food, fitness, fashion, and therapy. I've heard that a book will be written, most likely with a feminist bent. Most immediately, the WME team will strive to reinforce, or should that be resurrect, Meghan's shredded credibility in the entertainment world following the humiliating termination of the Sussexes' £18 million pact by mutual agreement earlier this month. So far, the spotlight has been on Meghan, with talent agency Jeremiah Zimmer stating, "Turns out Meghan Markle was not a terrific audio talent or necessarily any type of talent. You know, just because you're renowned doesn't make you an expert in your field." According to those acquainted with the matter, the main disappointment for Spotify was a lack of content rather than a lack of podcast viewing figures. Incredibly, for a couple that rarely appears to contemplate the effects of their behavior on others, Harry, 38, and Meghan, 41, are confident their downfall was not their fault. According to reports, both believe they have been repeatedly unlucky with other world events. Attempts to position themselves as global do-gooders, free to earn money once free of royal responsibilities, were greatly hampered by the pandemic that occurred within months of their Megxit announcement in January 2020. Their agreement with Netflix coincided with a significant and severe correction in the economics of streaming, as did their agreement with Spotify. Both firms no longer have that type of cash to throw around. Other instances of so-called bad timing that defy belief include the launch of Meghan's podcast, publicity for which was hampered by the death of the Queen, and their explosive and highly insensitive Oprah interview, which the couple felt was overshadowed by Prince Philip's failing health, which died soon after. There will be little sympathy. The word is that they think they've been incredibly unlucky, says a source in Los Angeles. Meghan, by the way, is a firm believer in fate. I'm told she consulted a celebrity psychic, Mama Faye, at the recommendation of one of her Suits co-stars, and was informed she was going to meet a man who was like a king, and that he would be globally famous. But, luck aside, the big question is how long before Harry abandons the showbiz life, for which he is clearly unsuited and appears completely uncomfortable. Under the rules of the Spotify arrangement, he and Meghan were each expected to produce multiple episodes. Meghan approached acquaintances for appearances on Archetypes, including tennis player Serena Williams, and addressed a letter to singer Taylor Swift, who rejected. However, Harry was absolutely useless in this area. Indeed, he came up with ideas such as interviewing Vladimir Putin, Donald Trump, and Mark Zuckerberg about formative traumatic experiences, according to the news website Bloomberg. If that wasn't amusing enough, there was even talk of producing a podcast about fatherhood and possibly interviewing the Pope for it. It sounds almost like a cruel joke, with Harry as the punchline. In reality, Harry never aspired to be a podcaster or a TV executive. He didn't want to be the pepper to Meghan's salt. "I get so much out of assisting other people," he said earlier this year at a conference in San Francisco. "Being of service to others is what motivates me and gets me out of bed every day." He'd even told Oprah during that explosive interview in 2021 that he only signed the deals with Netflix for £79 million and Spotify for £18 million because his family had cut him off and he needed to pay for security, not to mention the £11 million Montecito mansion they purchased 4 weeks after the Netflix deal was announced. While the pair was filming their explosive Harry and Meghan documentary last year, Meghan remarked in an interview, "It's interesting. My husband has never previously worked in this field." Following the publication of that documentary, as well as his self-promoted best-selling memoir Spare, doubts were raised about how long Harry would remain in the spotlight. For starters, he is deeply involved in a battle to rectify perceived historical wrongs. In the United Kingdom, he is involved in several legal lawsuits against newspaper groups over allegations of phone hacking and improper information collecting, all of which he denies. He is rarely seen in America, his new home. Netflix has commissioned and is nearing completion of a documentary about his charity for troops, Heart of Invictus. Meanwhile, Meghan and her Artwell team will continue to try to get Netflix to approve films and TV shows until the arrangement expires in 2025. Emmanuel, her new agent, will introduce her to the vital creative talent she will require to launch a new career as a TV producer. Tracy Ryerson, an actress and model-turned-producer, has joined as the head of written programming. Nishika Kumbal, the senior vice president of scripted television, is behind her. The two women have a lot on their plates. According to Netflix sources, Artwell has submitted offers for scripted material across the board. In addition to the previously rumored Great Expectations-inspired spin-off, TV sitcoms and cinematic rom-coms are in the works. They have a number of challenges, not the least of which being the present writers' strike, which means no work is being done on any projects. When the strike ends, there will be a backlog of work, and the greatest writers will be unable to work for months, if not years. Maybe Meghan, with the help of seasoned powerbroker Emmanuel, will be able to break through and put a stop to her bad luck. She is modeled after her former boss, Bonnie Hammer, an NBC executive who gave her big break in Suits. Even as she pursues larger and more lucrative media enterprises, her husband's primary concerns are the environment and mental health. In March 2021, he was appointed as Chief Impact Officer at BetterUp, which he describes as the fastest access to mental health counseling and an app he frequently uses on his phone. "I never ever thought I would be here on this platform saying, 'Therapy is fantastic and coaching will transform your life, or both will improve your life,'" he said at a conference this year. "And the more people we can reach out to, the better. What we're attempting to accomplish now, the goal, is democratize coaching so that it may reach the masses." Travelist, a sustainable travel coalition, is his second interest. It was founded in 2019 and has evolved into a truly spectacular operation that now incorporates some of the most well-known travel brands, including TripAdvisor, Google, Booking.com, Visa, and the Expedia Group. All have agreed to participate in an environmental sustainability ranking system. He knows the intricacy involved in sustainability and that there's a broad spectrum of challenges influenced by a range of causes, CEO Sally Davy says of Harry. He commissioned a 5-inch thick report on the subject, she claims, and read and took notes on every page. You can't blame Harry, who is hypersensitive to headlines that imply he's not intelligent, for preferring to focus on good works with verifiable impact and significance rather than presenting ideas for comedy shows or animations. Day to day, the couple's attention is diverted by their 2 young children, Archie, 4, and Lilibet, 2. According to The Telegraph, the 5-year marriage has some usual issues. According to one friend, the pair are like any parents of such young children, harried, but they are really happy together and live this wonderful life in Montecito, which is effectively a large gated community of multimillionaires. But, at the end of the day, they've been through a lot, and I believe they've both been worn down by it. They're just like any other married couple after 5 years. It was suggested that Harry occasionally stayed alone at a leading hotel chain in Montecito, and that he also stayed at the San Vicente bungalows as an escape location when visiting Ley. The couple's spokesman merely stated, "This is not true." Socially, Harry's engaged with a polo team in Santa Barbara called the Los Padres. Friends in London have complained that he has vanished from their life. Guy Pelly, a prominent member of his group, was seen dancing with Prince William this week in London. Given the brothers' utter estrangement, it was an unusual sighting to say the least. Meghan has managed to keep her pre-Harry acquaintances like yoga instructor Heather Dorak and Soho House executive Marcus Anderson, who both came to Archie's birthday party in May and went hiking with her the next day. Harry, who had just returned from King Charles' coronation, was not with them on the walk. They may still be married, but Harry appears to be happy on the outskirts of the spotlight, a few feet behind his wife. So what do you guys think about this update? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like my videos, please press like and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys next time.